Please check the ringers on your cell phone. Make sure they are most like real. And I would ask all of you to please stand, and I will invite Adam Rosen to lead us in our invocation and pledge of allegiance.
Good afternoon. Please pray with me. Lord, we thank you for the start to another week as Rotarians and service to others. We thank you for a start to this week that is another reminder of just how lucky we are in this world. We thank you for our first responders and our men and women in service who sacrificed so much to give us the ability and freedom to continue our good work for this club. Particularly this week, we thank you for those that are involved in the relief efforts of the recent hurricane. Please be with those that are still in need of services in your care. Please also be with those members of our club who need you the most. We thank you for those who prepare this food may be used to your service in your name. Amen.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Jeff Beamer, if you are ready, I'd like you to please come up, introduce our guests, visiting Rotarians, and lead us or conduct our Wizard Scholarship Program.
Today we have visiting Rotarians and also amazing. Really ready to do that.
Do what? Stand up. This is our friend Chuck Geiger. Chuck is originally from Marietta. Well, not originally, but lived in Marietta when we knew him, and now they moved to Geiger. He moved to Florida. He joined Rotary about a month ago.
No. Well, he actually was a Rotarian back in the 70s, too.
Well, sorry. Didn't mean to Anyway, these are our friends, Chuck and Barbie Geiger, and we are happy to have them with us.
Yes, and Barbie's also here as a guest for the meeting. And then we also have another guest, Amanda Henderson from Chattahoochee Tech. Amanda, welcome. All right, so today we can either do one prize or two prizes. It's up to you. We're both $25 gift certificates. One's just some restaurants, one's just for a Visa check card. So y'all decide, you want to draw once or twice? Twice?
Twice.
All right, and let our speaker pick the first number. Okay, first number is 601-6408.
Late person.
6408. All right. Congratulations. I'll let you get it right. All right, next number is 601-6414.
There she is.
All right. Welcome. All right.
Thank you, Jeff. Congratulations to John Brooks and Amanda Henderson. Good for you. Good day for our club today. I would like to invite Danya Minta up to the podium as she works on her red badge requirements and will inspire us with words of her past.
Hello, everybody. Most of you met me already, but I'll start at the beginning. I was born and raised in Germany. Met my husband over there when he was stationed there with the U.S. Navy. Came to the United States 22 years ago. Lived in quite a few places, still married to the same Navy guy who's now retired and teaches at Lassiter High School. And he keeps his for ROTC. We have 2 boys together, 20 and 18. One just started at Auburn University, and I gave sunshine about that one. I used to be a stay-at-home mom for most of the active duty time that we traveled. We moved 12 times in 18 years, so there was no chance of a career on my end. But I'm in my 3rd year now of owning my own vending business, so that's what I do with my time now that the boys are grown, and that's why I joined you all to do more good than all I know.
Check, got that off the list, Don, yeah?
Yes.
Okay, Bill Calloway, do you have an announcement for us today?
The first one is, on the 14th, Wednesday night, at First Press, we're gonna do the Rise Up for Hunting. Everybody knows about that. And if anybody has any questions, just see me. And the second one is, on the Sunday night after Thanksgiving, I think it's the 24th, we're going to feed at the extension. So, is Randy here? Randy's not here. Okay. Anyway, that's just 2 dates to keep in mind, okay?
Thank you, Bill. All right, those 2 dates are coming up in November. Plenty of time to remember. We'll keep reminding you about those dates, but they will be coming up. Adam, want to talk about Diaper Day? And Matt.
So Diaper Day, that's coming up on the 29th. So we've already got a collection outside, so thank you for doing that. Cash donations, we can contribute as well, so cash, diapers, they do it up until the event. So the evening, the event starts in the evening of the 29th. So I'll take a truckload full of the diapers that we have, or cash, whatever it is. And if you can't make the meeting on Monday, either you can meet me somewhere or meet me at the square, you can bring them up there for the drop off. If you haven't been, we've done this the past, or I've done it the past few years. It's really an impressive event to see the big mountain of diapers that gets contributed to all these different foundations. So it's a great cause. It's very great to see something that's going on in the square you may not even realize is happening. So let me know if you have any questions. And then you've got flyers and sign-up sheets on your tables for the October prospective member event. That's our happy hour. That's our meeting makeup prospective member event, all in one. We're switching this month away from Two Birds and having it at the new Glover Park Brewery. If you haven't been, they've built it out very well. It's a really cool place. A lot of different craft beers to try. They were out a few the past couple of times, so I think they're trying to figure out the logistics and everything, but it's still really a great venue. There's an outdoor patio area, fire pit, and that kind of stuff. There's an indoor area, cornhole, a lot of different things to do there. So join us. If you have any prospects or members that you can't bring with you and you want us to contact them, let me know. We'll be happy to do that.
Adam, I'm sorry, what was the date again?
That's next week, the 24th. I did say that, but it's on the flyer. There's a sign-up sheet. Let me know if you don't end up signing up today, and you decide later in the week that you're coming or you're bringing a guest. Let me know so I can kind of put together how many tables to corral when we get there. We're not going to reserve the space. We're just going to kind of get there early and reserve it. So if you can give me a head count, that would help. But it's not necessary if you want to show up.
Any other questions for Adam? All right, thank you, Adam. I also have another sign-up sheet on the table. It looks very much like this. Black lettering on top. This is a sign-up for our off-site meeting in 2 weeks. We'll be at the Governor's Gun Club in Kennesaw. Same time, new meeting, a tour of the facility, and we'll have lunch out there. So please, if you are interested, if you think you're coming, put your name on that sign-up sheet. We just need some sort of account for the people there who will be preparing lunch. I would appreciate that.
That's the 29th, Tim?
29th.
It's the same day as the Diaper Day?
Same day as well.
Come and bring your diapers.
Bring your diapers?
Or whatever.
Don't forget about the book drive. We are collecting books throughout the month of October. These books will be going to the top prisons for the inmates to read. Please check the books before you donate them. Make sure they are appropriate and don't have any secret compartments. We also have another raffle today. So it's time for our 100% attendance raffle. Mitch sent out an email to those of you who were included in that raffle, and if there were any discrepancies, then you should have known about it. The raffle prize that we will be giving away are 2 tickets to the Because of the Brave fundraiser at the Marietta Country Club, which will be held on November 10th. This is a program with Mary Sutherland sent me an email about this. They're very involved with that. They're getting support from the Marietta Rotary Club, the North Cobb Rotary Club, and we have also sponsored that as well. And in sponsoring that, our sponsorship comes with 4 tickets, so Sue and myself are going, and then the other pair will be raffled off. These tickets are, if you don't win, you can also attend. They are $75 a person, and I can give you a lot more information. I emailed with Mary Inslee earlier in the week. She was supposed to be here to promote the program and talk about it. Something must have come up, but maybe she'll be here next week, so we'll see. Green.
And I'd like to say that our club this year, again, will have our Veterans Day program here on November the 12th, and we want to go ahead and give you a heads up. So if you have some veterans in your family or among your friends, we would be happy to have them as our guests that day to honor them as well. So we'd like to have a nice crowd that day. We're going to have guest speakers and guest contributors to the program, and so if we have a nice crowd, that would be much appreciated.
Honor Guard will be here.
What?
Honor Guard.
An honor guard will be here and so forth. So that's on Monday, November the 12th. So please consider inviting your friends and family.
Thank you, Brittany. Everybody knows their tickets and names are written on the back of the tickets. Okay. So we have 1 raffle for 2 tickets. Marion, if you would please. And the winner is Tim Bailey and his wife April. Well, and we'll give it to him because I know he was here. So, but he said he had to leave right away. So congratulations to Tim on that. And I will also send out more information about the program at the Marietta Country Club on November 10th for that. Sunshine this week. Anybody have some sunshine for the club? Dr. Harper, yes.
This is actually more of a public service announcement than it is sunshine. Stand back here where everybody can hear me and see me. I'm sure all of you are aware of the crisis nature of the opioid crisis. It's almost become a byline for referring to opioid use nowadays. I don't know that there's any more appropriate use of the term crisis as it relates to the opioid crisis. 200 people a day die from drug overdoses in the United States. That's the equivalent of a 9/11 twice a month. It's grown to incredible proportions, unfortunately. In an effort to better educate the community about the crisis and especially ways of plugging into the system, if you or a loved one, acquaintance, a business associate, or whatever have problems of that nature, First Presbyterian Church on October the 24th has put together an all-star panel of people who are going to come and present a program. The panel moderator is the now retired Chief Justice of the Georgia State Supreme Court, Harris Hines. Vic Reynolds will be there. He is the Cobb County District Attorney. Most of you know Vic, and obviously very intimately involved in the war against drugs. Missy Owen, we've had her speak here before. She is the founder of the Davis Foundation. Her son Davis died of an opioid overdose. And she also is the founder of the Zone, which is a place where those in recovery can come and assemble and so forth and get a lot of community support. Renee McCormick is the Director of Community Relations at the Extension. We toured that not too long ago, and they actually spoke to us. She's bringing along with her the person who's the director of the men's division of the Extension, Robert Jordan. So we've got really a great panel of people who can speak to this from a personal standpoint as well as from a professional standpoint. So I know it's on the same night as our next social, our networking social that we're going to have at the Glover Street Brewery. But please, any of you that think that this might be something you could gain some use out of, please come, tell your friends. This is open to the entire community. We've tried to network through a whole host of sources to get the word out, and we're serving dinner that night. It's our usual Wednesday night supper, but come and have supper with us. And I think it'll be a very, very informative program for the whole community. Wednesday, October the 24th. Program starts at 6:30. Supper starts at 5 o'clock. Join us at the pit. Thanks.
Thank you, Bob. JC.
Yeah, I had a chance to make it up to Maryland to visit my family, visit my son for homecoming. We actually, our football team actually won the game against Rutgers, so we planned that pretty well in terms of an opponent for homecoming. But got to spend some time with him, with my parents. I got to see some people I hadn't seen in 30 or so years, so it was a great weekend.
And Leon.
Some of you know that Carolyn and I have a home down in St. George Island. And I'm proud to say that the NOAA photographs show that our house is intact.
Wow.
Congratulations. We have one anniversary in the club today. Mike and Annie Bodma's anniversary, as well as actually on Sunday, next Sunday. They must be on a trip. I'm not sure where this time. Any other announcements? Yes.
Sunshine on Hurricane Mockingbird. I know we all waited around pretty safely down on New Day, but folks down in Southwest Georgia did turn out some spots of luck. So we thank those guys. We sent 23 crew members down there. They left, I think, Thursday night. They'll be gone for a full 2 weeks. That's how bad it is. They're not coming home until their 2 weeks stint is up. And basically moving back. So we got a lot of work to do.
Thank you for that. All right, Sally, if you would please come on up, introduce our speaker for today.
Good afternoon, everyone. Some time ago, a very active member of our club by the name of Larry Carithers passed away. Shortly thereafter, his wife Jane joined the club and was an active member as Larry had been. Then when Jane passed away, the family sold a classic car that had belonged to them and donated the funds to our club for the purpose of establishing a scholarship, which has come to be known as the Carithers Free Enterprise Scholarship. The funds went unused for a time, and then a couple of years ago, the board of our club and the board of our club foundation took a decision to use those funds to establish a scholarship at Chattahoochee Technical College, excuse me. Last year we had our first Chattahoochee Tech Scholarship recipient, Aliana Tate, who many of you have met, I'm sure, and she's continuing with us this year. As well, we now have Miriam Diaby as our scholarship recipient for the first half of this academic year. The scholarship process is handled by the Chattahoochee Tech Foundation, and also today Amanda Henderson from the Chat Tech Foundation is here to talk to us a little bit about that. And she's placed some handouts on your table so that you can get some more information about Chattahoochee Tech. But first we're going to hear from Miriam. She is a 2017 graduate of Kennesaw Mountain High School and is currently a sophomore at Chat Tech. And during high school, she played soccer and participated in community service. Miriam is the oldest of 4 children and hopes that her receiving this scholarship will give them some incentive, her siblings some incentive, to work hard so that they too can get scholarships when they get older. Please join me now in welcoming Miriam to the podium.
Good afternoon, everybody. As Ms. Session said, I am Mary Diaby. I am a sophomore at Chattahoochee Tech, and I did graduate from Kennesaw Mountain in 2017 with a community service award from the Octagon Club, and that's the only one I can remember from right now. In high school, I did participate in the community service. My favorites were the special ed dance and Shop with a Mustang. And the special ed dance is basically a prom for the special ed students. So we organize it for them, and then it's during the day, so we have to take some time out of our classes and dance with them, make sure they're having a good time and stuff like that. And Shop with the Mustang I did this one for 3 years, and this one is where we take unprivileged children to go Christmas shopping. So starting from October to maybe the end of November, we start raising up a bunch of money to take them Christmas shopping in the avenues. I was in the Civil Engineering Club and the Octagon Club. The Octagon Club is a community service club, so we do community service outside of school. And the Civil Engineering Club was a club that was in my school, and also part of it was in the ACE Mentor program that I did at North College. And I played soccer for maybe about 7 years, but only 2 years in high school. Growing up, I played about 5 sports: basketball, soccer, golf, swimming, and tennis, all in that timeline. But soccer and swimming were the ones I did the longest and were my favorites. And my favorite subject is math, mostly because it comes easy to me. About my family, I am the oldest of 4. My sister and my brother go to Kennesaw Mountain, and my youngest, she goes to Hazel Elementary. My parents are from the west coast of Africa. It's a small country called Cote d'Ivoire, also known as Ivory Coast. And what I like to do in my me time is I love to read, listen to music, play games on my phone, play games with my siblings and by myself, and Sudoku a little bit, Netflix, cook, and online window shop. And the most influencing people in my life are both my parents, because they moved here from Africa. Well, my dad came here maybe like around the 80s, my mom 1997. And to come into like another country and like start from nothing and then build your way up into the successful careers that they have, I mean, it's really inspiring. And I really hope that I can be just as good as they are. Thank you. And does anybody have any questions?
Miriam, can you tell us what you're planning to do once you finish Chattahoochee Tech?
Oh, after Chattahoochee Tech, I plan to transfer to Georgia Southern starting in January, because I just got a letter in the mail that I got accepted a couple of days ago.
And you will be studying?
Civil engineering.
Like Sally said, we'd like to invite Amanda Henderson up to the podium to talk to us a little bit about Chattahoochee Tech. I met Amanda earlier in the year, along with Sally, when Miriam was a recipient of the scholarship.
Thank you guys for having me back. I've been a couple times, and I've really enjoyed every meeting that I got to attend. I'm just going to tell you a little bit about the college as a whole, and then of course I work in the foundation office, so I know enough about my college to be dangerous, so take it with a grain of salt. And we can just get started. So I have some little facts and figures up here about CTC. Some you may know, some you may not know. wasn't sure how familiar you guys were. We are one of 22 technical colleges within the technical college system in Georgia. We are the largest technical college in Georgia. And we're actually the 9th largest college in the state. So that's pretty impressive. We have 8 campuses, and we serve 6 counties. We serve Bartow, Cobb, Cherokee, Gilmer, Pickens, and Paulding. And if you look in the back of your view book, it's the shorter of the two, you can see our span. So we go from way south to way north. So it's a challenge to support all of those different communities, but I think we do a pretty good job of it. And then academics, we have 53 programs of study, and if you open your view book to page 6, you can see all of the different ones. We have business studies, we have business sciences, we have transportation, a lot of health sciences. I would say a third of our students are health science students. It's a very demanding set of programs, especially our Associate of Science in Nursing. That program is housed at the Paulding campus, and those students are actually able to get into Kennesaw for their BSN pretty easily. There's a bridge program. And you'll see we have lots of little bridge programs and articulation agreements with other university system of Georgia schools. There's another handout you have with you guys that looks like it's just a random piece of paper. This shows all of our courses that directly transfer to a university system of Georgia school. So if you know somebody who wants to come and get their core out of the way for half the price, we certainly welcome them. And then if they get interested in a technical program, then we're happy to fit them in there as well. And then paying for college, the expensive part and challenging part for most of our students. We have several scholarships. Of course, we have the Hope Scholarship, but also within technical colleges, we offer a few that aren't available to University System of Georgia students. So we have things like the Hope Grant. It's actually for students in a certificate or diploma program. They only have to maintain a 2.0 GPA rather than 3.0 GPA, and that covers 100% of their tuition. Same with the Zell Miller Grant. That one will cover 100% of tuition. So they still have to pay their fees and books, of course, but getting that tuition help is a big deal. And then we also offer something called the Hope Career Grant. This is something that Governor Deal has put into place, and it covers, we have 17 programs that it covers, but it will cover all of their tuition and fees if they're in one of these certain programs. And they're listed on the website, and then I can talk to a few. We have welding. We offer welding at our campus in Jasper and our campus at Paulding. And then like nursing assistant, cybersecurity, truck driving, automotive technology, diesel technology, anything that the state of Georgia has a high demand for, the governor is fully funding those students to get in those programs. And then the foundation. The foundation is a separate 501c3 nonprofit. That's where I work. I'm a state employee. I'm an employee of the college, but we work to support the foundation. That's how we accept gifts in kinds. That's how we get scholarships, donations, and then we pay for things, obviously like scholarships and emergency grants for students. We also have a program for conference grants for our faculty and staff because our budgets are like this big. So obviously conferences and things like that have been cut. So faculty and staff can apply for one every 3 years. We give out 10 a year. We give 10 to faculty and 10 to staff. And that covers $1,000 for them to get to attend a conference, just to enhance their own learning and pass it on to the students. So that's something we've been able to get going. And then I will say we have our vice chair with us, Mark Goddard. He does a great job for us. This is a picture of our 2018 scholarship luncheon. I wasn't there, unfortunately, because I was having a baby. But prior to the baby, this was my baby. to 99 students this year. So it was huge for us. And then just some things that are coming up. We have a new health sciences building. It is going to be at our Marietta campus, which is right down the road on South Cobb Drive. We have a groundbreaking ceremony tomorrow, and any of you can come. It's going to be at 9:30, and the governor is going to be our keynote speaker, and we'd love for any of you to attend. And if you do want to attend, just shoot me an email, and I can make sure I'll save you a spot. We've also been given the funding through the state's budget for a new building at our North Metro campus in Ackworth. It's going to be the Advanced Manufacturing and Emerging Technologies building. That's going to house things like our CNC program, industrial maintenance. I think they were going to try to have the transportation programs there, but there's not going to be enough room. But that's coming up next year. But the funding has been allocated, and we are definitely getting that one. And then just announced on Friday, the governor flew into the Paulding Airport and announced that they are going to fund an aviation academy. That's going to start a program in 2 years. They're going to build an actual facility, and it'll have 25 students to start. They'll go through as a cohort, so they will start together and finish together. And those students will be aviation mechanics. And the governor mentioned that for every one mechanic or every 5 mechanics that retire, only one comes in. So there's a huge demand. And that program is actually covered under that Hope Career Grant as well. So somebody who goes could go for free. And then this was a picture from the event on Friday. That's obviously the governor, some of our board of trustees and our board of directors. Dr. Newcomb, our president, is over on both sides. And then the tall guy is Matt Arthur. He's the commissioner of TCSG. So he reports directly to the governor, and our president reports directly to him. And then if you have any questions, I'm happy to answer.
The aviation program, is that full-time or at the evenings, or how long?
Well, they're still working on the logistics for it. I know it's going to be about 2 years out before they'll have actual students. And I'm not sure. I'm sure it will be daytime. It's going to be a pretty intense program. They have to take physics, special physics, and you want them to. But I'm not sure as to when the schedule will be, but I'm guessing 3 days. We have classes at nights, definitely. A lot of our core classes are offered at night. I know a lot of our welding programs are offered in the evening as well, since there's such a high demand. You know, somebody who's working during the day can come and take our night classes. We cater to that sort of student. We cater to a lot of single parents, a lot of people who are just working and trying to get back into a different career field.
I know that at Kennesaw State, they have a certain percentage, a small percentage, thankfully, but a certain percentage or less of students who are homeless. Do you have that at Tech as well?
We do, but the only way we know is if they self-identify. So what we have is a department called the Special Populations Department. It's a horrible name, but it includes people who are English as a second language, single parents, economically disadvantaged, people who are in non-traditional programs, so women in welding or men in nursing. And that department also handles things where if a student is homeless, they can give them resources, point them to different places, and certainly the foundation steps in as we can and helps find housing.
Like bus tokens.
Bus passes, we give a lot of bus passes. We're able to help that way.
This isn't a question, I just want to give you a plug for your dual enrollment program.
Yes.
My son is a senior in high school. He's taking dual enrollment classes at Chattahoochee, Kennesaw State, as well as Georgia Highlands. And Chattahoochee's staff is by far the easiest to work with for registering for classes and giving feedback and stuff.
That's great. Which campus does he go to?
Paulding.
Paulding.
His classes at Chattahoochee have all been online. They just through Paulding.
Yeah, we have several staff members who, that's all they do. They're high school coordinators. And they were, when they started, it was called Move On When Ready. Now they're back to calling it dual enrollment, which is probably what we are all familiar with. And that's a huge program. We have, I think, 1,600 students who are dual enrollment students.
The best part of it is he'll be a sophomore when he starts college because of all these classes. I only have to pay $50 out of pocket for all of it.
I was about to say, it's another good cost to it. Any other questions? Well, I just want to say thank you for having us. Thank you for supporting us. This is one of our best fellowships because it supports them for such a long time, and you really make an investment in their life, and they are as privileged to know you as they can be. So thank you all for having me.
Thank you, Amanda, for coming today. Marion, thank you as well. And thank you to our visitors today, Charles and Barb. Thanks for coming today. Nice to see you again. We will be meeting next Monday, October
22nd.
22nd. October 22nd, our speaker will be Michael Hick of the World War I camp here in Marietta. With that being said, I'd like to ask Adam to lead us in the 4-way test, and we will be adjourned.